Welcome to the Something Blue Fan Who review. This is an ongoing series on the Something Blue channel where I, Jed T.E. Rhodes, the man with many coats, will review Doctor Who fan content, be it fan films or fan audios. And today, we come to one of the more ambitious fan films ever made, Fire and Ice. A long time ago, during the 2009 specials, there was an ambitious idea. A collection of fan filmmakers would release a whole series of 13 45-minute episodes. It did not work, for reasons which anyone even vaguely familiar with the production of television in the modern day could probably tell you, namely, making fan stuff with barely any money is fucking hard! This didn't stop leading man Kenneth Dinkins from giving it his all, however, and the result was this episode, whatever the hell is left of the second episode, Guardian of the Solar System, and apparently there's mixed reports of what exactly is left of that, if anything, and one final scene where Dinkins apparently preempted the in-between McGann and Eccleston thing that John Hurt's Doctor was by regenerating into a composited Christopher Eccleston face and turning the last minute of that video into the video from Proof by I Am Clute, but with Doomsday playing. Let's leave aside that choice, if that's the word we want to use, and focus on Fire and Ice on its own merits. And let's not beat around the bush, there are a lot of merits. The main cast is simply incredible. Dinkins, under the pseudonym Kenneth Raymond Moore for whatever reason he chose, plays a Doctor who's wiry, alien, eccentric and yet grounded, though perhaps a touch too ethereal and lacking in authority to really feel entirely there yet. But hey, it was a first episode. The companion, Alice Hemingway, is played with aplomb by Jennifer Richman, who brings a real sense of a lost, detached young woman who would, realistically, jump at the chance to travel with a weird alien dude just for a sense of getting out of what is effectively a kind of crap and certainly very mundane life. Said mundane life is also represented by a somewhat less stellar turn by Carmel Stowe as Marissa. No disrespect to the actor, I'm sure she was told to play it this way, but Jesus fucking Christ, this character is annoying! This is presumably to make her seem normal and mundane next to Alice's more detached character. All it manages to do is make us wonder why Alice hangs around with someone this aggravating and doesn't punch her. The rest of the cast are fine. There's nothing especially special about, well, any of them really. Cody Presswood does a turn as a unit soldier who dies and is fine. Emily Richmond does a turn as a unit officer and is fine. It's worth noting, however, that in amateur productions, and even indie productions, which this one might well count as given the scale and budget, fine is a pretty good standard to have hit. The cinematography is similarly fine, although the wannabe Snyder filter is a bit bleh, and I say that as someone who quite likes the Snyder filter vibe. The sound is perhaps a touch less fine. From the sounds of it, none of the camera audio could be used, so everything is dubbed, which gives a weightless quality to the performances that tempers even the best of them. The story itself is a middling runaround. Ice warriors are invading, there's some arc stuff that never goes anywhere, etc. Nothing too exciting. Effectively standard Doctor Who fare. The pacing is off. There's long conversations happening while the Doctor's being murdered, and it genuinely feels like some moments are a touch too, I don't know, portentous? The real problem, though, is that this entire episode takes itself way too seriously. There's humour, sure, mainly focused around Marissa, but this thing is laden with foreboding, where everything feels heavy and, again, portentous. This problem isn't new to this story, though, and God knows it's not gone away in fan productions since. The effects are very good for indie in 2009, which is to say that it's nowhere near as impressive in an era that has The Last Doctor or Fall of the Doctor in it. There's a lot of solid compositing work that still falls flat in the modern age, especially when the same unit soldier, played, I presume, by Cody Presswood again, is copy-pasted a dozen times for a climactic battle. There is also a green screen TARDIS that, for all the lovely hard work that no doubt went into making it look good, is still just a green screen TARDIS, and doesn't stand up to a modern fan audience's expectation of this sort of scale. Complaining about effects is crass when we're all zero-budget indies trying to make fun things, but this story seems to hinge on those effects. And hinging on effects is never a good strategy for Doctor Who in general, never mind when it's in fan content. In conclusion, this is a damn fine pilot for a series. If we'd seen more, perhaps we'd have stronger memories of this series, and perhaps it would sit among the greats. But the modern fan discourse, like the demented goldfish on acid that it is, has all but forgotten the efforts of Dinkins and co, which is a crying shame, because many of them could learn a thing or two from this series. At the very least, they could learn a thing or two from Kenneth Dinkins' efforts, even if it's just don't announce a full 13-episode series when you're not sure you can make more than 2.